YouTube, what's going on? It's almost Friday. If you're listening to this video and it's already Friday, it's already the weekend. I hope you're having a great one. But I got some bad news for everybody. Apparently, I was just on Twitter. I was reading from the Marvel Rivals intel. Now, we don't know for sure. That this is the thing with leaks. You never really know exactly what's going on and what's not going on. But, I was just reading that there's a little bit of conversation going on in the Discord. Now, I don't know if this is the official Marvel Rivals Discord or if this is the Marvel Rivals leak Discord, whichever one. But nonetheless, people are in the Discord and they're talking about the supposed leaks for a lot of the X-Men and a lot of the random characters and stuff like that were supposed to be coming out in future updates. And one of the people in the Discord was saying that it's come to their attention that, some of the characters that people have been saying were going to be leaked or, were eventually going to come out were incorrect and just not true to begin with. And that it could be a situation where the devs were purposely putting in characters into the files to throw people off. Now, the thing is the problem with this is that we're not supposed to know this stuff to begin with, right? Leaking has become a really big thing. Prior to playing Marvel Rivals, when I played COD, that was one of the biggest things they have to put these characters and models and stuff into the game prior, instead of trying to put every single thing in every day as it comes out, probably because they have to test or, for different things to make sure that there's not some major groundbreaking bug with anything that they're adding in and stuff like that. And just probably for, ease of use when it comes to the updates and stuff like that. It seems like it would be a lot easier to put things in ahead of time. That way, you can just change a 0 to a 1 or whatever the case may be when it comes time to actually release it, put it in the store, whatever the case is, right? But the problem with leaking is that sometimes, there might be situations where maybe you thought you were going to do something and then, corporate says, hey, let's change this around. Let's release this first. Sometimes it's just kind of like people, devs playing around with stuff to see how it's going to look in game, whatever the case is. And like I said, these are things that aren't really meant for us, but, people have the ability to open up the game files and go into it and see what's going on and stuff like that. So there's problems that get presented when people start digging around and they just go, hey, this is when this is going to get released. And then you have people that they don't understand all of this stuff. They just see a post on Twitter or Instagram, whatever, and they go, oh man, I saw that, Cyclops and Rogue and Jean Grey and, Beast, etc. All these different people are coming out and that's my favorite character, and now I'm excited. And I just closed my phone prior to this, and I saw where a guy was like, I was only here for one of the characters that was getting released, and that was the only reason I was even grinding out any of the currency. And now that he's not coming out, I'm no longer interested or whatever. And it's like, bro, who told you to get that excited for something that you didn't even know if it was officially coming out? What it kind of reminds me of, it's like side thing or whatever. The many times I've had people come to me and be like, yo, did you see the trailer for this new movie? And I'm like, I stay pretty in tune with new movies that are coming out. I've never heard of this movie or usually it's like a sequel, right? And they'll send like, no, I saw the trailer, and they'll send it to me, and it's one of those fake trailer channels on YouTube. I had a buddy the other day. He was like, yo, did you see the trailer for Spider-Man 4? And I'm like, bro, there's no trailer for Spider-Man 4. That I would have immediately gotten a notification from YouTube or Twitter or something that the trailer had been released. I get them every day because we live in a day and age where your phone knows you better than you know yourself, really, right? So it's good. Like, I always get those notifications immediately because that's the kind of stuff I'm interested in. Long story short, he sends me a trailer, and it's just a combination of like a bunch of random Spider-Man scenes from different movies and stuff. But to him, even though he's seen these movies as well, he just for some reason fell for that. And these channels get hundreds of thousands of views every day, and people continue to get excited for them and think that they're really coming out, knowing that these are fake trailers. But it's whatever. I think sometimes people just want to believe stuff. But nonetheless, though, like I said, this is the problem with like leaks and stuff and people getting their hopes up and stuff. I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine last night, and I was telling him, we were talking about some of the leaks for like characters, and like a lot of them, like when you just look at them, they make sense, right? Like it makes sense that they would release more X-Men characters. I mean, we already have like Wolverine, Storm. I can't think off the top of my head if there's any more, but those are the main ones that I can think of, and it would make sense that eventually, like maybe next season, the season after, they would do like a release of the same way they did the Fantastic Four, that they would release 3 or 4 characters for the X-Men, like the main characters, right? Like, because why would you not start off with the main characters, Professor X, Beast, Jean Grey, Cyclops, stuff like that, Rogue. So it would make sense that they would do that. But at the same time, like in that same list, that because I think it was a video that he had sent me, right, and it had like the timestamps with the different characters, and at the bottom there was 3 characters, and he literally was like, "Yo, have you heard of these characters before? I've never even heard of them." And I'm like, "No." One of them was like Trapster, and another one was some other like name or whatever. But these are characters that I had never heard of, and I'm pretty fluent in X-Men comics and lore and stuff like that. So I mean, not that there's not a thousand or so, or if not more, X-Men or whatever that are popular and stuff. There's just so many. It's kind of like an infinite amount of them, right? And they pop out more every day. So, but nonetheless, I kind of me and him were talking about it, and I was telling him, I was like, yo, a lot of times people will just say stuff just to say stuff, and sometimes like developers will put things in to troll people that when they know they're leaking stuff, just to kind of like go, oh man, yeah, this is what's happening, blah blah blah. And it's kind of like a shame on you, right? Like for because a lot of people will lose faith in people and stuff a lot of times if you've been building up that these characters are going to release and then something else happens, so it's kind of like a shame on you for digging in the files, releasing stuff, or releasing information about what's in there and getting people, their hopes up and stuff like that. So, that's the problem with that. I mean, I've dealt with that before with COD, with Fortnite at different points and stuff like that. I remember I had made a video about potentially having Deadpool come out in Call of Duty, and it was right around the time when the Wolverine and Deadpool movie was going to release, and people had found some finishing moves that looked very much like something that Deadpool would do, right? That seemed very Deadpool-esque, And come to find out, it ended up being for something else. I think the finishers, there was like 3 different finishing moves, and they all ended up like releasing, but for different characters at different times and stuff, right? Or different bundles that came out and stuff. So, and they had been altered and changed a little bit, but for the most part, they were pretty much still the same. And like I said, that could have been a situation where they were trolling people and they knew people would run with that and it would build up a lot of hype for the game. Or it could just be a situation where, they have to like kind of test these out. So they put them in with the game to see how they'll mesh and flow and stuff like that. And, people just see that and then they take it and run with it and think whatever it is that they want to think about it. Right. So, it is what it is, but, I just want to say that, people, you got to be really careful with believing these like leaks and stuff. And since I've even started recording this video, I just saw, update to where the post that I was referring to actually just went away. And now they're saying that other people have come out and they've shown that the files are in the game, but when I say files, I mean that like they just have the names like written as like a placeholder, you know what I mean? And even then, now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't look like there's every character that they said was going to come out. Like Colossus, Cyclops is missing. There's a couple other ones. I'd have to like compare them side by side, but it doesn't really matter. The point that does matter is that there's still not actual files in the game. Now, if you can, like when it gets to a point to where someone can physically show you the model of the characters and they can show you like the abilities and stuff there in the game, that's one thing. That's taking it kind of far for a troll. But like if somebody's just like, yo, I looked at the game files and in there somewhere I saw Cyclops' name. It's like, okay, anybody could do that. That's not something that's like complicated. Anybody can just put a placeholder and put someone's name and it doesn't do anything to the actual game. You could have a bunch of stuff like that in the game that says a lot of stuff, but it doesn't actually do anything and it's not actually going to go anywhere. So, with a game like Marvel Rivals, I feel like it's definitely going to be really, big with people it's already kind of the case, but it will definitely become more of a thing where people will start saying, hey, I think they're going to start releasing these characters and these characters, because with the Marvel IP, you have so many different characters, and not even just X-Men, but like so many different characters, that people are excited to see come to the game, and like, why not, right? Like that's the beautiful thing about it is, and like I said in my previous video, video before last, that people, that's one of the biggest reasons that people like this game over Overwatch, right? In my opinion, is that there's so many people that only play it because they're really into Marvel characters and stuff, right? And people like myself that wouldn't normally be into hero shooters, but because they have the Marvel IP, it definitely makes you kind of want to take, like, basically give it a chance versus just kind of go, I'm not really interested in that. Not to mention, you have to imagine how hard it is to create characters and stuff for a game when it's an original property, right? Like Overwatch. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why it's taking them so long to create characters. People were talking about the fact that Rivals came out with 4 characters, in their first season. I mean, they haven't released the final 2 yet, but we're only in like a week and a half, 2 weeks into the first season. So, there's that. But like by the time the first season will be done, which will only be like 2 months, or 2.5, however long it's going to take, you will have had 4 characters, which is longer. I mean, more than the amount of characters that you got throughout the whole year of Overwatch 2 or whatever, right? And, you also have to do the math too. Like they were saying that because, there are things that are verifiable, right? Like from the actual like developers' mouths, they had said that this season they had released a lot more content than they would release, in future updates. And I think that was because it was the first season, probably because they're trying to build hype for the Fantastic Four movie. I can't remember exactly when that comes out, but I'm fairly certain it comes out this year. I could be wrong, but like I said, I'm pretty sure that comes out like this summer or something like that. So nonetheless, the point that I'm making is that if they said already that they're going to be releasing like a new character every like month and a half or something, right? So you just got to do the math, right? If you're looking in the game files and you see, you know what I mean, like 10, 15 different characters, because there's so many characters that have supposedly been leaked. And they're really just people, pulling up a picture of the comic books and putting it next to a name in the game files and going, oh, look, this is coming to the game, guys. And it's like, that anybody can just do that. That's not a big deal, it's just people doing it for clicks and views and stuff. So you definitely kind of want to use like your common sense, when you're looking at stuff like this, and not allow yourself to get super hyped unless you've actually seen verifiable artwork and the abilities and stuff, and pay attention for the people that are like, this is just concept art or concept thoughts on what their potential abilities could be or whatever. And even if they don't say that, still you just kind of want to make sure you double triple check the sources and see if anybody else has put that same exact information out, because if not, then it's more than likely just BS that somebody's doing to just get you to watch their video. But that's one of the good things about my channel is that like every now and again I will tell you like, hey, this is speculation, this is my hypothesis on something, but at the same time that's what it is. It's not verified, and it's not a situation where I'm like, yo, this is definitely coming out or whatever. So if this is if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for people that are just gonna give it to you straight up, you definitely want to be here on this channel. I don't ask people to subscribe or like or anything like that, but like I said, if that is what you're looking for, is no nonsense, no BS kind of like delivery with stuff like this, then you definitely this is where you want to be at. But let me know in the comments though, like what you guys are thinking. Who are you excited to see? Are you disappointed that some of the leaks may or may not be true? And like I said too, I just want to clarify, we don't know if these things are true or not. That's the whole point of this video, is to let people know like we don't know. So like take all the leaks and information, the supposed leaks, with like a grain of salt, right? Like don't bet your life on it or playing your life around it or anything, or well, I'm saving my points up at my lattice, however you pronounce it. I'm saving all that stuff up to only get this specific character. You don't even know if that's going to be happening, right? We have no idea. We had images for Blade and stuff like that leak, and there's actually pictures of Blade in the game now, like fighting Dracula. I just unlocked it the other day. It's like a wallpaper or whatever it is. And you can clearly see Blade, and he looks just like the picture that I saw that was the leak for him. So that wasn't fan art or anything. But we still haven't gotten him yet, and we don't know if he's coming next season. If that's just we don't know what's going on with him, right? So. Just like I said, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Are you disappointed? Are you, still excited for the future of characters? Who do you want to see? Who do you not necessarily care about seeing? All that good jazz. But yeah, just let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.